What I want to do with this series is essentially help new people understand MOBAs at the very core. And I mean, like, we're going straight to the fucking basics, like bare bone basics. And eventually we will go into intermediate stuff, like, I know there's a lot of terminology that gets thrown out there. And, like, when someone screams out, give me a dingle hopper kangaroo sandwich, I'm going to tell you exactly what, the dingle hopper kangaroo sandwich is. Spoiler alert, there is no such thing as a dingle hopper kangaroo sandwich. I was, but just, you get the idea. Like, there's some crazy terms out there, like shoving and freezing the lane and stuff like that. My goal is to teach you what those terms mean, when to use them, and hopefully in this regard that you can actually have a better time playing and enjoying a MOBA, because I know from experience how unfriendly competitive games can be, and they often leave a bad taste in people's mouth. My goal is to try and lessen that bitter taste so I can arm you with the knowledge that you need to know to get better at the game, to enjoy it, and overall, get better, climb the ranks, do whatever you want. If you want to play casually, play casually. If you want to do it ranked, do ranked. Um, I'm not really like a pro, so like I consider myself like a long time veteran because I've played literally since the dawn of time of MOBAs, which is back in StarCraft. So I've literally played every single MOBA that's come out in North America since the genre was created. So I typically focus on mid and support. Most of the advanced tactics are going to revolve in mid and support, but I will go over the basics of the other roles, because I know not everybody wants to be a support. So I'm gonna go over the responsibilities, the basics, and what you're supposed to do as that role as time goes out. Now, this is something that I tried doing before in my old YouTube account before I lost access to it with Paragon, but I stopped because Paragon died and I didn't see a point in going forward with it because I was using Paragon as the basis. But now we have Predecessor, and I have faith that Predecessor will survive. So I'm gonna try it again, and basically the same principle. The base of this game, the base of this series is going to be based off of Predecessor, but the terminology is mostly going to be able to be used across any MOBA of your choice, whether it's League of Legends, Dota, Smite, or even if you somehow are still playing Heroes of the Storm. I don't know why, but if you're still playing it, good on you. All these terms are basically universal terms. So, all the features, all the aspects, uh, and stuff like that they are going to vary per game because different MOBAs act different. So when you're seeing certain things, like certain things act differently versus they do in League versus they do in Smite, via versus and stuff like that. They even, like I said, each game actually differs from game to game. So like they literally have each and every MOBA has its own separate functions and how they work. So like for instance, there is no solo XP in Heroes of the Storm. It's all team based. So you can literally have one person in a lane and everybody else can do whatever and they'll still be getting experience because it's all shared experience. Um, and Dota 2, you can actually creep deny. You can kill the creeps, which can essentially starve out your enemy. I don't know how if it's changed because I haven't played Dota in years. But when I used to play, you could literally keep someone at level one for the entire game. League, you can there's last hitting works a different way. Well, not yeah, it works a different way in terms of predecessor at least. Um, League also has its own features of the game, like buffs, which is kind of a universal thing. But they all, like I said, they all have their own different different little tidbits about them. Smite is probably less new friendly because it's third person, and same thing with Predecessor because it involves third person MOBAs involve higher situational awareness because you're basically playing a third person MOBA. So if you ever played a third person shooter like COD, or Overwatch or anything like that, well, not Overwatch isn't third person, but you know what I'm saying. You know what a third person shooter is, right? Okay, you know what to expect with the camera angle. So third person is a lot harder to deal with than it is with overhead because with overhead you have an overhead view of your surroundings, meaning you have a lot easier time of seeing who's coming to push your shit in. You have quite literally like a lot of time to see when they're doing it. Um, but when it comes to a third person MOBA, you literally have no warning until they're right up on you. So when you're playing a third person MOBA, you have to practice your situational awareness because if you don't, you're just gonna constantly die and you're gonna get discouraged and you're gonna turn toxic, you're gonna complain, you're gonna flame people, you're gonna just gonna stop playing the game altogether. And I'd rather you not. I'd rather you keep playing the game as long as you don't turn into a toxic people because we all know how toxic and elitist people can get in competitive games, especially MOBAs. But my goal is to help reduce toxicity by informing people how to play the actual game. After that, if you still don't follow the knowledge that, because I know I'm not the only one doing this, so you're going to have this knowledge from a lot of people, I believe. So there are plenty of people out there who are doing guides. I just wanted to do my own because I feel like I have a different approach on it. Because a lot of people are acting like these people, they're using terms without explaining the terms. So like I said in the beginning of the video, my goal is to explain literally every single term so that you actually know what's going on. So that is pretty much going to be the gist of this series. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the Twitch channel and in the comments. Peace.